What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of Jaylen McClain Monday with Jaylen McClain. What's good, bro? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Coming off of this last victory over Nebraska, I believe the final score was what, 21, 24, maybe? Like what, 17?
21-17, I think.
21-17. Coming off that dub, you actually was in the rotation with the first team. You got a lot of reps with the first team. You played most of the game. How did that feel?
It felt good, to finally get my first start, in my career. Hopefully, there's more to come. Obviously, for now, you got to keep stacking days, but, right in that moment, I felt like I was ready, and the coaches gave me the opportunity to showcase what I could do, and I try to take full advantage of that.
Okay. So like you said, you just came off your very first collegiate start as a true freshman. What was the process like and how did it go about when you were told that you would be starting?
So, obviously, Lathan went down, and I knew that, I had to, probably have to step up. My role would be a little bit bigger. And, they trusted Jordan to play the same position as me because, how versatile he is. He's a, future NFL player. So I respected the fact that, we would be in a rotation together because, I know he's a really good player. I can't even get mad at that. You know what I mean? So I, but obviously I started in the base package and that's what Nebraska came out in. So when I ran on the field for the first time, just it felt great, see all 105,000 people in the stands and just get things started.
Okay, okay. Like you said, you were all in the base package. There were a number of different packages. You saw some personnel with Jermaine Matthews on the field as a third corner. You saw Lorenzo Styles on the field, but it could have went a number of different ways. They could have put Sony Styles back there as safety, a guy who played safety last year. Now he's a linebacker. Could have went a couple of different ways there, but they decided to trust in you, put you on the field, and you actually end up making a couple really big plays. Did the moment feel like when you stepped on that field, did it feel different than all the other games that you've had so far this season?
I'm not gonna. I really don't think so because I feel like I try to take every snap, every game pretty much like the same in a way. Like I'm play hard regardless. Obviously, I'm in just the first play of the game rather than like when the last couple quarters, of the game. So it's a little bit more serious, but I take it all the same. I just try to execute what I got to do.
Okay. I believe it was the third quarter, if I'm not mistaken. Could have been a fourth, but I believe it was the third quarter. You made a crazy play, had a pass deflection, deep shot down the middle of the field. You was the only one who could have made that play. Walk me through that.
So obviously, it looked like you know, it was like a crosser route. And, I saw the quarterback take his hand off the ball, so I just broke on the ball. And, I feel like, that was like the perfect situation for, what we were running. So, I drove on the ball. I just, he's a bigger receiver, so I know how to, be a little bit more physical when it came to like ripping the ball out. So I just, try to break his arm down and get the ball out.
Okay. Since this was your very first start, Lathan Ransom went down earlier in the week, so you were kind of aware that you could be starting and everything. Did you do anything differently with your preparation this week, well, last week since you were starting?
So the team try like the coaches try to emphasize like a championship type of routine. So I'm always following in like Lathan and Caleb and all the other guys' footsteps when it comes to that type of stuff. So I approached it all this. I approached it again saying like, right, I'm getting 0 snaps, so I'm getting 15 snaps. So nothing really changed, but obviously I probably was a little bit more in the film 'cause I realized the type of role I would have. So I didn't, want to disappoint anybody or anything like that. So I was trying to be on my best stuff.
That's tough. That's tough. So, from my perspective, I was watching the game on that TV right there. I seen you make the play, and I was like, "Yo, that's crazy." And then like Gus Johnson's obviously calling the game, Gus and Joel Klott, and he's like, "Yeah, Jaylen McClain, true freshman, Rahway, New Jersey, this and the other, like hyping you up."
Right.
Um, what was the reaction from your family and everything to like how good you played in that game?
Everybody was proud. It's good to see that my family's supporting me, through it all. Whether I'm on special teams or I'm actually starting, what I mean? Like my family gonna be there, they're all gonna be watching, from start to finish, regardless of what's going on. So that's how like the love is real.
Okay, okay. All right. What month is it? October, almost November. So that's what 9 months. 9 months ago, when you first came to Ohio State. You early enrolled along with Bryce, Aaron, Miles, all those guys, and you got started. And you was telling me you feel like you could fit in pretty well with like the older guys and everything. You told me how you want to just put your head down and go to work. 9 months ago, if I told you you would be starting as a true freshman in a Big Ten conference game, what would you have told me?
I would have believed you because I just know the type of person I am and like how I work. So I knew I had to, competitive excellence. And I had to be just ready when my number was called, and I felt like I was ready, to deliver for us.
Okay. So not a ton of true freshmen, especially at a school like Ohio State, get on the field as a true freshman, much less start a very important game, right? What message would you like to pass along to those guys who's coming up behind you?
Just like, like I said, I've always said, like, just keep working, you know what I mean? Like, you just never know when your time is gonna come. Like, I didn't know my time was gonna come against Nebraska, but, I was ready regardless. And, I tried to step up. Obviously, I played a perfect game, but, I did what I felt like what I had to do. I had made the mistakes and cleaned them up, but, you just gotta always be ready. Don't make the same mistake twice and just, stay on your game.
Nice. Don't make the same mistake twice. I love that quote. Um, what was the biggest focal point, the biggest adjustment that you guys have? You guys had 2 weeks after that game against Oregon that obviously didn't go your guys' way. It was a very great game, but a couple different things could have happened. What was the biggest adjustment that you guys made in practice since then?
Um, just to make things a little, they just want to make things a little bit simpler. Like, they felt like, when you think too much, you don't play as fast. So when you have less things on your mind, you're able to play a little quicker. So they want to just everybody to play fast. Like that was the biggest thing for everybody.
Okay, okay. That was obviously one of the biggest games of the year so far. The season is still fully ahead, and things get that much tighter when you're working with the Big Ten is very competitive this year. You got Oregon, it's playing really good. Indiana's undefeated right now. Penn State is currently undefeated. And you got different teams kind of rising to the top. At this point in the season, what do you guys feel is as a team, is the most important thing that you guys need to do well to get to that ultimate goal at the end of the season?
Coach Day always says you gotta, run the ball, stop the run, win the explosive plays and the turnover battle. So, if we do those, we do those four things, I feel like, we should have, keep the 6 game streak, whatever we have left, just keep it going, you know what I mean? Like if you, handle those types of things, like that's those are the things that win football games right there, being able to run the ball, stop the run, when they're supposed to play the turnover battle. Those are like that's the blueprint right there that you need if you want to be successful. So I believe in what he says when he talks about that.
For sure. Biggest game of the season, obviously. Well, not the biggest game of the season, but one of the biggest games just passed a couple weeks ago against Oregon. You
Yeah.
personally, in your personal development as a true freshman, what is the biggest lesson that you've learned from that game?
Just approach every game the same. You know what I mean? Like when you go against have a matchup game like Oregon, you obviously get riled up, and, always like you're always like so hyper and ready to go. But we just realized we had to approach every game like that. And like we just can't turn that on like when that matchup game come, you know what I mean? Because it's not gonna be the same. Because
Yeah,
obviously we had a couple games where, when against teams like, no shade against them, but like Akron, Western Michigan, and Marshall, they're not of the same caliber. And then when you get to Oregon, now you want to turn it on and be extra hype and like change your preparation and stuff. You just can't do that. So we just approach every game the same.
yeah, definitely can't mentally perform down to the competition. On a more personal note, I believe last week was you guys' bye week. Were you able to go home during that
Yeah, I
week?
went home for the weekend. I saw my brothers play. One on
Nice.
Friday, one on Saturday.
Nice. What did that mean to you to be able to actually come home during the middle of the season, kind of reset and see your family?
No, it meant a lot. You know what I mean? Because I obviously haven't been home in a while, and this is my first time I got to see my brothers play. So
Yeah.
I know it meant a lot to them to go see both of them play in my little break. So it felt good for sure.
Okay. What years are they in again?
Sophomore, no, junior and freshman.
Junior and freshman. Okay. Nice. So you all each like what, 2 years apart?
Yeah, two is a
Pretty
part
cool.
of it.
That's pretty cool. All right. Last week I asked you your top five favorite New York Giants players the last time we interviewed. This time I thought about this one. I want to know Who are your top five current NFL safeties?
Current,
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to go with
in order, in order.
okay. Number one, Derwin James, just like of what he's been doing since he started. Then I'm gonna go Buda Baker. Then I'm gonna go Kyle Hamilton, and then I'm gonna go with so yeah, Derwin, Buda Baker, Kyle Hamilton, and then I'm gonna go with you said safeties or just DBs?
Safeties.
All right,
Let's stick
say
with
all right,
safeties.
yeah, all right. So fourth one is gonna go. Hmm, I don't want to say. I'm gonna say Jesse Bates. I like him, and then Mika Fitzpatrick at five.
Minka, nice. That's a pretty solid top five.
Yeah.
Um, what do you think is the most important quality, not quality, most important trait when it comes to being a very good safety?
I'll say IQ, like just being able to like, anticipate plays and just like know your opponent well enough to really be able to like almost cheat the game. I feel like
Yeah.
that's like a cheat code when it comes to like playing football because everybody's athletic, but when it comes to like that, the mindset part is just a little bit different.
Okay, okay. So far this season, about what? Already over halfway through the season. Dang. It's been like what, 7 games so far, right?
Yeah, seven.
Season's flying. What is the most surprising thing that you've learned so far during the season?
Surprising.
Like college
That
football in general.
season goes by fast. That's the one thing that surprised me. Like the fact that like, I'm already halfway through my freshman year and I played in about 6 out of 7 games, like on defense, and it's crazy. Like it's how like how much I feel like I've grown as a player, and just
Yeah,
and just being able to watch my team, just team and teammates in general, just like do their thing and just be able to gather wins all together, as a team.
yeah. 3 months from now, academically, you're gonna be a sophomore.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, real crazy.
All right, Jaylen. All right, last thing, and then we'll get you on out of here. So far, everything that's happened so far this season has been like absolute madness. You got like Texas getting almost smoked against UGA.
Hmm.
You got UGA losing to Bama, Bama losing against Vanderbilt. All of these crazy things. Have you been able to actually keep up with any of it at all since you're a player yourself?
Not as much as I used to, but like you'll be able to like watch film and like obviously like watch highlights of games. I like to watch highlights of games anyway,
Yeah,
but being able to watch that type of stuff and like track the scores, like it just shows just how crazy like college football really is. Like college football is really
yeah.
crazy. Like honestly,
How like how often is that like the talk of like the locker rooms and everything? Like you guys might have a game at like 12 p.m., right? And then
Mhm.
2 days before, like something crazy might have happened in like the ACC or something like things like that going on. You got like
Yeah.
Travis Hunter over in Colorado, all these things happening. How often is that like the talk in your locker room?
I'll say it's pretty often like we see all these crazy matchup games how they're ending like I'll see a lot of people talk about it like have their own opinions on things and stuff like that. Like I remember we went against Michigan State, and then that's the day of the Bama Georgia game, and we were like on the bus on the way
Yeah,
back, like all watching the game. Like, this is crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's funny, but
yeah, for sure. All right, Jayla, we're gonna let you go. Good luck next week in the game against Penn State. One of the most important games of the season. Guys, remember like, comment, subscribe, and always get 1% better every single day. Peace.
peace.